Welcome to another edition of Porn Talk.
I am Chaos Rain here, and welcome again to another edition to Porn Talk. As you know, this is the segment and when we talk about the nice, ooey gushy, all that sexual lust, booty clapping sounds, all the comes, all that most people are so conservative and so quiet, but no deep down inside they love and always thought of always getting and busting lots and lots and lots of nuts. This is the segment we call Porn Talk. As you know, I am the one on Chaos right here, and I'm here with my co-host, the one and only Kitty Cat Kai. Let me start the sound.
Peace, everybody.
Let me stop. Anyway. See that cat?
Yes.
Got the cat outfit, and you know it's going to get real up here, people. What's good, Kai? How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Yes, this is just a sexy avatar for this only. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, looking forward to today's topic.
As I'm trying to make sure everything's notified properly, because you know, when we talk about things like this, you know, certain social media and you know, we could say YouTube, you know, they're not gonna really put out stuff like this because it's getting too sexy in a way. It's something to say, oh God, you talking about porn. Oh, relax, Negro. You know you love it. You watch it, you bust nuts. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Today's subject, as what is titled, we're gonna deal with the positive effects of porn. We always hear about the negative effects. As you know, Kai, you heard about it, I heard about it. There are pretty much enough information articles out there. If I can remember what were the real negative side effects of it, I think it leads to lack of erection, boredness, and some other things, desensitizations. These are things I'm just throwing out to those that's not familiar. These are the few side effects of what is that happens when people consume too much pornographic things like images and actual visuals of sex, booty clap sounds, nut busting and all that stuff. But today we're going to look at the positive side because let's be honest, who else talks about the positive side of porns? Do you know, Kai?
Not that I know of. That's why I thought of it. Well, actually, that's not the only reason, but yeah, I think it could be. There should be more positive benefits discussed. Yeah.
And I don't really know, but like I said, today we're going to entertain this and we're going to have a more broader discussion. And like always, we should have an open mind, because we're going to do something, at least do it properly, correct, and get somewhat benefit out of it,
Right.
hopefully. You know, you can't be to sit there all day as a man under the age of 30 or so or older, and you just constantly just bust nuts. I mean, boy, you're gonna have more problems than what I could imagine. And as a woman, you could do it, but you're gonna have problems too, ladies. So, when it goes to one side, it's gonna affect the other. So it's not one sex say, I could do it, I'm fine. And no, we gotta really deal with the detail and the information. And today we're gonna talk about the positive side. So but always be responsible for every action you take. I always promote healthiness, cleanliness, and yes, safe sex is a necessity, especially if you're slinging it like that, or you as a lady, you're busting wide open like that. So, um, let's look. So, should I pull out the link that you gave me and share it?
Sure, it's up to you.
Okay. Let me
I have some
let me
things
find.
written down, but if you want to,
Okay. But before I pull up, you could conversate for a little bit as I find some things. So, give it away. Take
so
it away,
what I'll
Kai.
do is just talk about some of the main. I again, if anyone's here now or will be coming in, um, thank you. Yep, this is Kiy NY007 over here. I'm Kitty Kai. Um, so what I'll do is mention a couple of the main positive effects of watching porn. One of them is less repressed feelings about sex. So maybe some feelings that you've had that you've held in a little bit, maybe this can be a little way for you to open up more about that. When it comes to sex, like Chaos Ring was just saying, you're told negative things, well, it's particularly with porn. So in other ways, I feel like it can help you by opening you up a little more to things that you may already like. I'm not saying just get turned on by what you see. I think we all have an inner uniqueness to our sexuality. So the other thing is, it'll lead you to be more open minded. Now, we're saying that is, that there's different body sizes, there's different types of sexuality, all that. So I think with so much variety, I think that's what they meant by when they said that in there about being, it gets you to be a little more open minded. Yeah. And the other thing is sexual empowerment. I think that is a very underrated um, term right there, a way that you feel, not only when you're watching it, but after you may still have some kind of like effects after where you just feel, I don't know, you kind of feeling yourself. Not literally, but you feel like sexy. You have like um I don't know, you're open to some sex appeal. So if I'm, making sense. I think that, that's definitely one that was good to see on the list was sexual empowerment. So that was just to name a few while Chaos is doing something. We could just go off. I have the list here. You don't have to pull it up.
Yes, you can read the list now, and I'm going to share anyway. But go ahead, read the list. 'Cause I'm just going for the studio, just putting out for people that's viewing. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, some are obvious ones which I didn't write down because we all pretty much figure that's obvious. Self pleasure. So when you're watching, you pleasure yourself or somebody's pleasuring you, whatever you're doing. So that's a positive effect of porn, self pleasurement, self pleasure rather. Pleasurement's not a word. Pleasure. The other term that came up was destigmatization. So you may be more or less likely to stigmatize people or groups once you kind of see something being displayed in porn. Some things kind of, I think, normalizes some things for you. With saying that, I will also say that, there's some things that are out there that are just not really for anybody. You got to remember somebody has a camera and it's people, and sometimes people just gonna do what you allow. Okay, so other than that, maybe stigma of gays, or you feel a certain kind of way about somebody else's sexuality, but if you're amongst them, like even in a social group, you've gotten to know that person. So they're looking like that in forms of pornography a little bit. You kind of get a little familiar with them. Not saying you watching it,
Hi.
but it's more of an acknowledgement. So less stigma
Hello?
behind it.
Just to stop you for a second, I'm listening to you from the other end, and you sound good. So so they can hear you clear based on YouTube. All right.
Okay. Are you ready?
No, no, continue, continue. No, I was playing this. I make sure the sounds good. Continue, continue.
All right. Well, I mean, um, yeah, those are pretty much the basics. I don't know if anyone is in here yet.
All right, let me share
Okay.
the link.
Yeah, it helps too with y'all engagement. I hear an echo.
Do you hear
Are
echo now?
Yeah, I heard it earlier and I'm hearing it again.
Oh no, because I had the YouTube playing in the background just to make sure everything was clear when it's going to
Oh,
go through
okay.
tape. So you know how it is. Sound is very funny nowadays. People don't hear it. But here's the link that I. Hold on, this the one. I don't know if anybody can see it. This the link. See it?
Yes, I can see it.
All right. Is there anything specific? I could scroll to the right.
All right, so it looks like you're on the college main homepage.
Oh, okay.
So what I wrote down probably was just, letting you know that that was the university's website,
Okay. Well,
not
this is the
really
website
realizing I
that
didn't
it
give you the
came
link.
from. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Let me exit. All
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I don't have the exact.
right. All right. Well,
But
I
if
will
you
look at
type
it
it,
as this. Go ahead. Say
I
something.
was gonna
Go
say
ahead.
if you were to type it in, it should have probably pull up the article. I'm not sure if it came up on a PDF or not. But
Well,
yeah, but
I've
basically it was
created
positive
something that
effects of
we
porn.
don't have to read it, but if you have the PDF, I have a special device that it'll read it for us, and we can stop and pause and give commentary. Okay. Let me check my email. Let me see here.
I didn't send anything. I said
Hey,
what I gave you was the website, but if you
okay.
go in, you should be able to just click in the search and put in the positive effects of porn because it was a research study. So it should at least get you to the page.
Let me try that.
I could try on here. I just don't want to interrupt. You know what? I got
Okay.
a different device. Okay, so while you're doing that, this university is called Queensland University. They're based out of Australia, fairly new to me, but they came up because they were on while I was looking into what came up with the positive effects of porn. So they did a study through their college there. So do you
Okay.
hear me once or twice?
I can hear you one time. I would say one thing that people did not know. I'm Kai. I was going through a book, and I'm not sure if you're familiar. It's by Alfred Kinsley, and it's dealing with a what do you call it?
Sounds
Sexual
familiar.
behavior of the female. And it's interesting. It talks about marriages. And if I could remember, there was certain things it said about marriage that remember because this research is out like how old this reacher is, like 50, 60 years old, probably older. This man conducted on multiple women. And to tell y'all the truth, he was unable to get black women in this research because remember back in the time, a lot of our people, because segregation, Jim Crow, and all that stuff, a lot of them are very conservative when it comes to sex and research in regards to dealing with that with outsiders.
Hmm.
And most of the women, if I last time I checked back then, were married at the time. So a lot of sisters did not want to be included and didn't want to volunteer themselves for that, surprisingly. So and a lot of men never didn't know why was that. It's not because they didn't want to, is that back in them day, a lot of sisters didn't really trust white folks like that.
It's a good
Sorry.
point and with good reason. I put the link in the back in the private chat. You could try that.
All right, let me try that. I found a whole lot of search engine, but let's go for the private chat. And I'll pull that up.
So yeah, it's a PDF file.
Hmm.
I don't know if I needed to include that number, but I
How's the
did.
niggas? Oh, okay. I found something. Yeah, this looks like something. Let me see how contact author.
You know what? This isn't the full. Oh,
All
is it?
right, I pulled it up. Yes.
Yeah, this is too much. This not too much, but this is not the sorry, this is like more of a full um like journalized report. This is like a college paper right here. But it's good because it's got the information, but what we needed it was kind of just in a nutshell and broken down real quick.
Hmm.
I'm not sure why it's coming up.
Well, let's play some of it, and trust me, I got something like this. Let me scroll up. Let me scroll up. Let me see where I'm gonna start off with. What the article says, and I'll leave the link for those who
Oh,
want to
it's
read it.
right in Google. I'm sorry. So there's a description right above it when you go to Google. So that's where we get our main things from. And then you can elaborate on it. If you click on it, it's the actual breakdown by percentage and
Hmm.
things more detailed than we might need, you know.
Okay. And this was copyright in 2007 by Alan McKee. All right. So let me put this to the test. Tell me if you can hear this as I activate the reader. Um, I gotta let it download first. So let me mute myself. I don't want. What's this?
You can just stroll through. You should be able to just stroll. You know
Oh,
what? Let me not say that because maybe it already
replays.
downloaded to me last over the
Okay.
weekend when I looked.
I have to read. Let me download. I got downloaded. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me lower these windows. All right. Drag this here. Good. Refresh. Oh, this to the P might be too large, but let me see.
Okay, so I'll break up the silence here. So while you're doing that, I was mentioning a porn video that I had saw. So specifically it was an all black cast. And this falls into the flow of the positive effects of porn, or at least, from what I could see and what it could add. So what was different for me was that the whole skit that they did prior to the actual actions of the pornography that they did was
Mm-hmm.
cool. And when I think that a lot, well, I don't know what other people like, but whether you have a skit in it or not, some of us really don't care. But with this one, it was just different. So it was like a black woman, and she had her college daughter, and the daughter grade wasn't good. So she told her she got to get her grades up, and then she made her go in her room, and she was like, "Go ahead in there and like change your clothes." Now she wasn't underage; she was in school and everything. So then they went together and met with the guy that's in control of the grades. So I don't know if he was the dean of the school or whatever, but it was nice. He had his like business casual clothes on. Everybody looked clean, and I don't know, the way they made her look. She looked like she was like embracing her power, and she just like walked in there and her hips was swinging, her butt was swinging everywhere. And it was just like, good for people that see that, or men. And when she went in there, like she was the aggressor, but she didn't like attack him either. She was gentle about the whole thing, but she was letting him know, like, listen, we got to get these grades up. So what's up? And he was looking like, what? Okay, well, what do you mean? What's up? She's like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, and the daughter was sitting there just looking like our, she mom must already told her what, what's up, what to do when they got there. So it was funny, but it was different, and to me, it was kind of fun. And plus, it just showed like she has, at least she was in college, at least she trying, But it was all right. So I give it that. I give it,
I
yeah.
mean, you see, the problem with our communities is we're not comfortable having this conversation with our own children, boys and girls. You know, we always recommend them to be responsible in certain aspects, but when it comes to sex, that's something that's still a form of taboo in a lot of our, you know, black communities, unfortunately.
Hmm.
And I tell people this is more of a black perspective. We can't really say all people. Everybody's different when they look at and view sex. Um, it's taboo in our communities. And the funny thing with mother and daughter, if we want to go there, that I don't know, man, because you're here, Kai. Do you feel that with a lot of mothers, are they really giving proper game to their daughters about if in regards to sex, or they is hoping that it is figure out? From your perspective, what do you think?
I think hope that we figure it out.
Mm, yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
And I don't
but
really want to
there's
say
no
that,
help.
but
But it's bad because it's no help, because what we do is we end up with the scumbags. We're more vulnerable that way
mhm,
and things like that. So I don't know if moms be trying to feel like they're helping by doing it, but they're not.
okay,
Nope.
okay. Um, I'm looking through this PDF, the one you sent me, and I could probably start off from the what they call it, the not the introduction, but the abstract of it of the research itself. And like I said, the link will be in the description. The positive and negative effects of pornographic attributes by consumers. Little research has been conducted asking what range of effects pornographic might have on consumers. In this literature, it has been assumed that the primary effects will be and to create negative attitudes towards women. So they say.
Hmm.
But this assumption has not been tested. No experimental research has been done on what possible positive effects and the consumption of pornographic might produce. As a preliminary step in such a project, a survey of 1,023 consumers of pornography in Australia asked consumers to specify whether they felt the pornographic had an effect on their attitudes towards sexuality. Now, mind you, this research was done in another country,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying nothing's wrong doing that, but my thing with any research, and I want people to hear me good, is if you can conduct any research, your research should be based on every country in the whole world, because porn is not just consumed by European people, aka white folks. It's consumed by every ethnic group across the nation. Indians consume porn. Hell, the Asians consume porn. Do I have to go into the what do you call kabaki? What do you call baka or these crazy animes? And I'm not sure if you watch anime porn by Japanese or whatever Kai. They get real graphic.
Yeah, the porn sites, they have different animations, cartoon.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I'm not
not
watching
like how the Asian do
cartoon
the
stuff.
porn. Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not
Not
watching
how they do it.
cartoon
When
stuff.
they do it, it's like,
Mm.
damn, y'all Asian man don't have nothing good to do with yourself. Y'all just sitting there, y'all just fantasize what you would do to a woman. 'Cause remember, certain parts, I'm not sure about Japan, but let's say China, because they have more men than women. They're not getting much some because there's not much women, so they're gonna have to indulge in, masturbation.
There's so
A lot of
many of
films.
them, though. They're so
Medium?
overpopulated. Even if they
Yeah.
do outnumber the women, they're so super outpopulated.
Mm.
They just shoot. It seems like it's enough to go around.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Um, but it goes back to nature. When you start going outside nature and you in your population and your group, your country, and your set of people, when your president prefers to have more males than females, is a problem in my book
Definitely.
because you're outside of natural order, unfortunately. Because let's say if we want to have this conversation that nature intended more men than women. Okay, let's say we go there. What the men are going to do? Because we all know nature of men. Men are territorial. They want to impose environment, and they by default want to procreate.
Hmm.
If he has to find and kill another man to get to one woman, he's not only going to do that, but it is in his nature to do so. You get me? On the average, you know. I'm not saying men won't share a woman, but we all know how the nature of men is going, how they've been, and how they're moving, and how they're going now. That they will take violent means. Hell, I'm not sure if because I'm here in the East Coast like you are. You hear stories of a lot of dudes
Yeah, where I'm at.
how they killed another man because they were messing with either his girlfriend, baby mama, or whatever, and they take violence to the other man if they caught him in the act. You heard about this? I don't know if you ever witnessed this yourself firsthand or heard stories about this.
About a guy getting caught cheating?
No, like a man caught his either baby mama, wifey, or etc. in the bed. I'm like the dude just come home with it and saw him get
Oh, the other way around. Oh,
yeah, yeah, dead. Sorry, yes, correct. He don't sit there say, turn his head, turn around, and walk away.
stuff either, to be
He
honest. No,
yeah.
for real. Like, if you think about it, the type of friends you keep are gonna type of have. I look at it like this:
Mhm.
who I be around is usually a reflection of me too. Your
Okay.
tolerance level, what you give and receive. So, to be honest, strange situations happen, but nutty ass stuff like that ain't really happening around me or to
Mm, okay.
close. We just don't. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So the point I'm trying to say is that, it's not good to have more of a certain especially males than women at the end of the day. I mean, because nature really don't intend it that way, unfortunately, people. But anyway, let me continue reading this. Where I left off. Um, okay. And to specify that the effect, 58.8% of responding through pornograph had a very positive or a positive effect on their attitude towards sexuality. The other 34.6% felt it had no effect, and 6.8% thought it had a negative effect or a large negative effect. The main positive effect in order of reporting were making consumers less repressive about sex, making them more open minded about sex, increasing tolerance of other people's sexuality, giving pleasure to consumers, providing educational insight, sustaining sexual interest in long term relationships, making consumers more attentive to a partner, sexual desires, help consumers find an identity or community, and helping them to talk to their partners about sex. The most common negative effect were that pornograph led consumers to objectify people, causing them to have unrealistic sexual expectations, causing relationship problems, cause loss of interest in sex, and lead to addictions. Now that these possible positive and negative effects have been identified, further research can be conducted in investigations to extent of these effects for consumers of pornography. Now, it said here about expectations. Now, what do you mean by expectation, people? It means if you, as a male, and then Kai, you could probably give the female side, but I'm gonna give the male side for now. If you watch certain women that entice you, you are going to expect and demand your either, side piece or significant other to engage these same sexual acts that you watch through pornography. Now that's from what it said, what is it? The side effects or the negative effects, the unrealistic expectations. So if you watch a woman get banged from the back, anally, and that turns you on, you expect that woman you deal with to do the same thing. And that woman might not like doing that. So what you do as a man, do you still go ahead or you don't? No, most likely, if you're not fulfilling your desire or that unrealistic expectations, you're just not gonna you're gonna do it to a point just to get it off, let off, and then you probably gonna find the next woman to satisfy that craving. That's one side effect. And there's many more. And I was using that as an example. But the point is this, that that's just the negative side of things that, you what you see is what you expect and what you want to get. And this applies, and I'm sure you could give the side effect of the woman. Can you, Kai, from a woman's perspective?
Well, I think we kind of said it.
Okay.
With as far as yeah, because I described one that I saw, and
Mhm.
you know, yeah. So keeping it on the positive end for women, we probably more or less more reluctant to watching it and even engaging in the conversation. And there's really nothing wrong with feeling a certain kind of way because that's the way you were taught. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I feel like
Okay.
if you do want to watch it, I feel like try if you're gonna try it for yourself. There's so many different kinds too that it would surprise me if we're being totally honest. For there's something for everyone. So to me, now that I see even more categories, I'm like, this is too much. So there's something for everybody. Or I could even say like massage. Everybody likes a good massage. What about an erotic massage? An
Okay.
exotic one? You can look those up. Like I like oils on the skin, the feel. Yeah, I'm echoing again.
Don't worry about it. Keep talking. You
um,
good. You good. We can hear you.
I know, but hearing it is nuts. A little bit. Okay,
Okay.
I'll just keep going. So yeah, that's all I was really saying with that. Just you can be enticed by watching something too, not where a guy is just making you do it because that could possibly be a turn off too. Let the person see how they feel about it. And then just like anything else, if you want to present something to someone or like another food, you just throw it at them and they're like, I don't know, I heard about this. I never really wanted to try it. Well, how would you feel? So when you working that in with somebody, just have a conversation. Why not? Or you can pop it
Mhm.
on, or why don't you do a little bit of the person, like as a guy, which a lot of times it's the man, sometimes women too. If you're already familiar, use some of that familiarity as you're introducing it to someone else that's unfamiliar and you want to build up a little comfort with them, or we just watch it for a little while, just watch how you're, introducing that to people too. And again, like it's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't want to see somebody else naked and stuff like that, but there's different reasons too that maybe females would be more likely to watch it. You're single or you're with someone, and in between you like using toys. So you might want to watch some porn too that might warm you up, or you like doing it while you're watching it or whatever. But it can be an accessory for both, yeah, both genders. Yeah, it's less talked about. It seems like it's just less with the ladies, you know. So,
Mm. I
but
think
out there.
I think one of the things that as people, as couples, that we don't focus on enough is, and this is the problem with this type of digitalization of people, this computerization of human beings, is it's make us very much less communicative, conversation, having communication with each other. Is and this is the danger of it. It's just like the Judge Dredd effect. Or not, my fault, Demolition Man. Sorry, the movie type effect, where it's come to a point now that because people don't know how to have a whole conversations with each other, we is gonna now turn to forms of artificiality. Just to, I gotta get some pleasure, but I don't want to have or attain either a woman or a man, or even go as far as, you know, trying to feel my partner what they like, just to make the move good. That type of foreplay that goes out the window with this type of society where it's going, you know. And of those that still understand the art of foreplay or try to, get to understand their partner's body, they're the ones that have more of a better, not only relationships with women, but could possibly have better access to the opposite sex overall. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of people nowadays, they just feel that they need to get something off and just be lazy. Just say, as long as I got what I want, I'm good. I keep pushing. And I say, yeah, you could do that, but overall, if you're that type of person, once you, if you as a man, you're selfish, you get selfish results.
Mm.
And here's the problem, and I might do a video on this. I noticed, 'cause I was listening into other streams, how a dude was still finding himself. He doesn't have no purpose, and he's a young dude. And to him, it don't seem like women is a problem to him, from what he's saying. But my point is this: if getting women, or if you're able to get access to them, is not a problem, why are you as a male asking advice of purpose to other men that's pushing how to not only get women, but how to hold and keep certain women as men? So it lets me know that you're a person that just don't have actual purpose, and it seemed to me that you don't have no problem, or you do have a problem with women, but you just don't understand women because you're calling in just to get some advice. But if women is not your issue, then what is? Because to sit there say, if I can call a woman on the phone and get her to chill and may have sex, then that tells me you're just a person that's hoping to just to, pay to play, and just to do what you gotta do and just keep pushing. You're not gonna build no relationship. You're not gonna hold a woman with that type of thinking at a young man, when I think about it overall. So if you're a person that's seeking and still finding yourself, then you should be on that. A woman in the equation should not be in your thinking as a man. Because now you're gonna be doing like everybody else. Pay and go. You ever heard that, Kai? Pay and go. It's like Uber. I said, let me Uber some sex. And trust me, it's coming. Once the prostitution is really legalized in all states, you could Uber a chick. 'Cause a lot of dudes, let's be honest, and I'd say personally, we don't have enough game. Unfortunately. That's what it is. So you're gonna have to pull out your pocket and pay to play.
Yikes.
I mean, yeah, it's bad, right? Yeah.
Yay. It's like-
I mean, you laugh. It's serious.
No, I'm laughing because I was like, yikes. But I'm like, oh no, for you guys, yay. For the people
I
that
don't
do
know
do
about
it.
yay. Listen,
No,
if
for the
I
people that need it, yes, it's yay to them. So I'm saying yikes. I'm like, no, for the people that, yay for y'all, it's them.
hold on, guys, 1 second. I gotta mute myself. Hold on.
Just whip out your phone and just keep swiping. Wait for it to show up. Wow. hmm They got a robot delivering food to college students.
Oh
They got
God.
everything.
Uh, hold on, I gotta mute myself. I'm not done yet. Oh my gosh. Y'all can hear me laugh.
Hey. Times is changing. Times is changing. Yeah, just be careful. We moving fast.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I have to do that. Because that's where we already heading already. You get me?
Mhm.
And I can't say if it's right or wrong, but let's be honest. And this is sex talk, people. I want, and still adds on to the positive effects of porn. We just varying a little bit, but I want y'all to get understand this today. You know, this is the world we live in today. Sex is always gonna be a problem that's not gonna go away. You get me? You know, the society think it's taboo and they try to restrict it. But I'm looking how people moving, how we're moving now as a society. You're bullshitting me. You're teaching it now in school now. And now you're teaching it from pre-K to 12 to 12th grade. And you're teaching not just the safe part of sex, but teaching all forms of sex. So why this is still a taboo that when we talk about porn, and even if it gets the views that I expect or don't, I'm just being honest that if people are trying to teach your children, you're not teaching your children for yourself, then goddamn it, we must be upfront honest about it, what we like and we don't like, and try to come to a common ground. That's it.
Yeah. Right.
That's it.
And get into
I
what
mean,
we like and don't like, because some of us
exactly,
still don't even know what we really like. There's so much more out there to like, to enjoy.
exactly. And I'm not shaming those that like this stuff or like porn or wherever you want. And I want people to hit the like button if y'all watch this on YouTube. Please hit the like button. I know that this is not um popular today, but I do this occasionally, and I'm gonna be consistent as best possible. But like I said before, that this is not gonna escape us as people. You get me? And there is gonna be consequence down the line when you don't teach your son and daughters the benefits and negatives of sex. Hell, why do you think the school had to ask your permission for teach your child sex education once they touch puberty? Because they know said it's gonna be on their thinking, their minds. Once they, especially boy, once he's able to have that wet dream, he's at the point now where he's gonna be have those urge. You get me? Just like the girls. Once they have their first period, and from what I'm hearing now, when young girls have
No.
period very early on, and that's the cause of the environment and the food. Let people know, you know, keeping it real. That these things you're going to have to start talk about. We're not condoning or promoting, say, your child's going to just go out there in the street and just get it. And no, no, no. I want you to be smart and intelligent, as intelligent means that you have to be educating them. You have to have that connection with your child. And I'll tell you this, Kai. I saw a skit on IG, and I should share it, but it's pretty much off to the point. That the mother was so mad at her 18-year-old daughter for getting pregnant, right? And to come to find out throughout the whole 6-minute skit, when she asked her, who is the father? She didn't tell her personally. She looked at the stepfather that's right there, right in front of the mother, says him. And the mother was shocked and just blown away.
You said this was on a live stream?
No, this not. It's like a little clip from IG. It's like it's like an educational clip. So it say, you get me? It's an educated clip to show that how you deal with things like this, what you should do. You get me? Being proactive. If you as a mother, remember it's dealing with a mother and daughter, right? That
Yeah,
the
but
mother
that father got the daughter pregnant?
is a stepfather. The stepfather was having sex with the
Right.
mother's daughter, and he'd been having sex with her for the last year before she turned 18 of this year.
I'm lost. You said this is on an educational piece, so is this
Yeah,
real
because
or
at
what?
the end of the 6-minute clip, they was informing and educating people of the possibilities, and I could say dangers
Oh,
of
okay, okay, okay.
um
I get it. So it's a reenactment of things that we know that do happen, can
yeah,
occur. Okay.
yeah. And the problem of it is this reenactment, um hold on a second. This reenactment, right, is that is teaching a lesson that, if you as a mother and you moved on, regardless what age you had your child, and you letting some other man that, because people move on, relationships move on. You as a woman, you get pregnant, you didn't want to stay with a baby day or whatever, you move on, right? You bring somebody else in your life that you always gotta be cautious that next person you bring in your life could potentially have sex with your child. You get me? Potentially, you get me? So that was the message that it was trying to teach, right? It's not about sex educate, but it's teaching that, this is normally happens and it's a possibility. You get me?
Mhm.
And I mean, I had some words about it. I'm not gonna talk about it here, but the reason I'm bringing it up is that you are not teaching sex to none of your children, either if you're a parent, one parent, or two parents. And God, it's worse when if there's two parents in the household and they have boys and girls, sons and daughters, and they're not even talking about it once they reach a certain age, which I find it very frightening. So you just want your children be out here in the streets and schools and just experiment. And mind you, the school system is now teaching it. And how they teach it, they're not teaching how what you expect. They're teaching it in a form where it's dealing with homosexuality aspect of things. You get me?
Mhm.
So right there, you're not even getting a sincere knowledge of it. You're getting something just so that way they expect you to do it. So one thing is we're going to teach you things that's not only inaccurate, but we're going to teach you alternate ways of sex. You get me? So all what we've been talking about for the past, what's it, 4 episodes, from the Mali Khalif, which is really bullshit, to all forms of the documents and articles, which people can go back in my channel and replay back some of those things, episodes, that is leading to up to this point that the importance of it and why it should be more emphasized. Rather you take it as shame, guilt, or something. It's not going to escape you. This is something that is going to be part of Western society. You live under a Western order, you better have a clear understanding and educate yourself about all these things. What are the consequences of engaging in anal sex? Boom, it don't talk about that. I'll tell you what it is. It will cause hepatitis, increase the risk of HIV and AIDS, and STDs, just alone. But your physicians will not tell you this. And also what it does, especially people that are, especially if you're male engaged in that, you have a higher chance of prolapsing your colon. Oh, but they don't talk about that. Oh no, we can't talk about that. But why you won't talk about it? I'll tell you why. Because I need to make money off you. If you get sick, that's money in my pocket. You potentially might get HIV that will lead to AIDS, makes money. You potentially create the high risk of STDs, makes me money. So why not educate yourself on all the sexual acts and the things that possibly you could do in alternative or ways to not just prevent it, but how to get around it if you're going to play with this. You get me? Because people are not gonna stop fucking, and even fucking incorrectly, they're not gonna stop doing it. So it's better now you know how to educate properly, so that when you're surprised when you have to get that itchy pain or pains of any sort from a man or a woman, you know why. It's that simple. You know why. You should not be surprised. You should not say, "Oh, woe is me. God just cursed me and it must be." No, 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 dummy. It's your activities and your lack of knowledge of what you're doing properly. That's just it, you know? And even with porn, watching it and the negative effects that they keep, or if they're ever promoting, which I doubt they're promoting negative side effects. Do you know if they're promoting it throughout media, Kai?
Who?
Like any media outlet, have they talked about people that watch porn, this is what's happening to the
Anybody?
negative side effects?
I don't
Like,
really
is
see
that more
anything
promoted
talked
than
about.
anything else?
I don't see porn talked about. The only
Okay.
time I have was like for 2020 that the rates of watching pornography are shooting out the roof. That's what's got them talking about it. Really, that's about it. And banning it at the same time. That's all I've heard about. Banning porn and the rise of porn.
Well, I would
Yeah.
say
So,
the banning of it, and I remember it was I don't sure it was episode 1 or 2, but I remember that how famous porn sites like the Pornhub, and that's the only sites I can name right now. There's many more, but that especially that now they're verifying if people are actually not underage uploading porn. You get me?
Hmm.
Verifications.
Well, they rather
Things
you
of nature.
verify it
Even
with
criminal acts. 'Cause I heard there was some criminal acts as well being uploaded into that same site, which I did not know of because I don't watch these things like I can't say ghetto gaggers, but things like those type of BDSM type porn. You know what I'm talking right?
yeah. That's kind of what I mentioned earlier when I was talking about destigmatization.
Hmm.
You it says you give less stigmatization the more you kind of see things, but then I've just brought a point to where you may see things though on here that's not for nobody really. But you put
Okay.
people in front of a camera, you know what I mean? And sometimes they're
Mhm.
gonna just do some stuff and then say, hey, if they're gonna keep it in circulation. Because I've seen people bleed and I'm like, all right, that ain't like I
Ooh.
thought you was spanking. Like, what type of stuff is this? So there's some people that repeat it when they come on a scene and they're already like bruised. But I don't really want to get into that. I want to just stick with the positive thing, because
Okay.
again, with
Yeah,
anything,
yeah, 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 yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so
I get you, I get you. Yeah, so these are the things. These are the scenarios. Um, but like I said, we have been talking about this in previous episodes. You can find those on this channel, Castaway channel. So now let me see if anything's an article that talks about the positive side because I was just scrolling in this little bit. Maybe I should find a link. Oh wait, what's this? This conclusion. All right. Oh yeah, this makes sense. What might
so
so
yeah. So
like
once the video gets uploaded to whoever gets watches this,
yeah.
your Chaos Rain has invited you to add your thoughts. I'll stop back through to read to see if anybody left some in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you guys, y'all engagement helps too.
Yep.
That's why, it's already very few people talking about it. People talk about sex, but sometimes I get lost in the whatever the heck they think they're talking about. And it always kind of comes down to who's got it going. They're not really talking about just general, just relaxing and having an honest conversation. So I don't see it. I don't really, so we try to bring it here. But, if you have a suggestion or if you have a question, or if there's something I said and you have something to say about it, like put it in there because that's what help get the conversation going.
Yes, indeed. I'm just scanning through
So
this,
definitely.
and maybe I should have read this first. It looks like it's more of the negative side than the positive side of the article from what I'm scanning. But I'll leave the link in the description anyway for those to read. Let me
Yeah,
one
y'all could
second.
check that
I,
out. They
I
got the percentages, everything in there.
yeah, it has a percentage.
Study.
I was looking at just the reading, the words alone. I could go for the percentage, but
No, some about the readers.
yeah,
I mean,
read,
whoever, when they come back and click on the link, hopefully they're able to get right to it, to the part.
man, we're hoping for the best. All right, it
Well,
says here
oh, go ahead.
positive. Oh wait. One little thing when you Google it that it says here in the first paragraph, the main positive effect in order to report were making consumers less repressive about sex, making them more open-minded about sex, increasing tolerance of other people's sexualities, give pleasure to consumers, provide educational insight, retain sexual interest, and long-term relationship to making. Which that is one of the positives, and that to me is probably the greater, more positive of sex of it because let's be honest, you as a mate, you gotta know what your mate likes. We're not all virgins out here, unfortunately. I mean, I had conversation with one particular content creator about this. I didn't want to argue back and forth because it's fruitless. But when I look at out here that people are getting in, and whether they get it in as they turn 15 or 16 years old, or they get it as early as 10. 'Cause I hear stories now, and to my mind, when I hear young people having sex, the first thing that comes to my mind that they were touched overall. I mean, that's just me because usually if you're at a certain point and you just knowing doing certain things, something has happened. I mean, but I could be wrong, but that's how I view it. But overall, we're not seeing a lot of virgins out here, in certain areas where we live at, like that, en masse. So knowing this and knowing the environment where we are, we have to just move accordingly. That's all. I mean, what more can I could tell y'all? Um, one thing, Kai, if you could run down those bullet points one more time, so people that didn't catch it one more time.
It was actually the ones you just read. So a lot of that was
Oh,
in
okay,
the
okay. Well,
first
damn.
paragraph where they just get to the main thing. And then if you guys do want to check out the full PDF file, it's not very long, but they have it just kind of stretched out to the more just distinctive details of the study. So I do like how colleges do that. You'd be surprised. I remember it was either Yale or Harvard. I could look back at it. They did a good study on pornography, actually not being touched and watching pornography and the effects on that. So, this is where we get a lot of our data from: actual students, actual
Mhm.
people. Us, where we are the people. We can be the data. You know, but like with these type of platforms here on YouTube, we can exchange data within each other, which is great. But in closing, I'm very hot. I want to say something you touched on that was important too, just being safe. Um, you know, talk more with your partner. Um, when it comes to sexual health, I think we too quiet too. I wanted to say too, there's a rapper that's out. I'm gonna do a piece on him too. If anyone sees this, more than welcome to stop by my way and check it out. I'm gonna do something on NLE Choppa because he's a rapper that is coming up with the cure for STDs, possibly. So I thought that was very interesting because in the hip hop culture, there's so much thoughtness going on, and I personally don't like the way they're making it seem like I don't know, black females just got their legs open for any and everybody when that's not the case. And it's a smaller percentage of people being allowing themselves to be exploited, and that's no representation of us, whether you're older or younger. So I just say that because STDs are affecting our people more and more, different nationalities, but when something's encouraged, and to be honest, we all dance to it. A lot of people love hip hop, whether it's getting real sexy or if it's, just cool out. Our bodies are moving. We're repeating the lyrics, and there's such a lack of responsibility that I think that falls into a negative effect that it's had on their sexual health. So for a brother like this young man here in LE Chopper, he comes from a rough lifestyle, but he also has battled. I don't know if he got specific on the STD, but they just talk about how he's been vocal. There's other rappers out there too, and like NBA Young Boy and them. So I respect their honesty, but I really love the fact that he's on it. So he's finding some other ways to find cures, and a lot of it has to do with natural things. So we're going back to the basics with things. And we should all be encouraged to kind of look beyond to find solutions to the problems. I love solutions. I'm not looking for more problems, but if they there, I'm gonna try to help solve them. So I like seeing other people doing this, and he's only like in I think his early 20s. So it's nice seeing that. But the more information I get on it, that's when I'll work on doing a piece on that and you know updating everybody on what's going on. Thank you. That's so kind.
Excellent, excellent. Hey, I did not know this man was trying to. Is he trying to correct all forms of STDs?
Yes, sir.
Mm. Yes, be careful with the word cure because when you start being loose with that, you know what I'm talking about. I don't have to go deep.
Yeah, but what's interesting is, like you just said too, there's some people in the public that have reached out to him and told him don't talk about it right now. So
Okay.
see, that's another thing too. So I'm glad you mentioned that. When you're working on something too, you do want to network and get with the right people. But when you're finding a cure, like Chaos Rain, like you just mentioned, guess who's on the other side of things? The pharmaceutical company, the people that want
Yes.
the money and all that. They don't want to hear
Oh yeah.
you curing nothing because they're greedy devil. All right, they're greedy people,
Hmm.
and it's wrong. And there's probably more people with their hands in pharmaceuticals that have absolutely nothing to do with it, but somehow their money is tied in. So it's like, you think about it, they want people to keep taking pills anyway. You got incurable STDs. There shouldn't be nothing really incurable. unless you know your organ is shutting down. You know, there's some things that's really hard to get back, but you know, when you really think about it, it's like crazy. It's like they want to leave you stagnated, but you do got to be careful, and that's what they're telling him. Like, be careful. Just just be careful. He's like, yo, it's gonna be out next year. So they're like, all right, but be careful. They're happy about it because it's getting buzz, but they telling them, just quiet it down and be careful. So we'll see
Okay.
what happens with that. You know, I like that they're even making those moves in that direction and healthier eating too. So if you do, want to check him out, I was late about this, but he's been journalizing things, his efforts to live a healthier life, due to sexual health, as well as his quest on finding a cure or cures. Because I don't see how one thing could do, but I'm not thinking with my brain. I want, if they find it, find it. So, it's good to see that they're working on it. Some people are able to touch areas that you never would have thought. I remember there was a time when you didn't even hear from a rapper. They didn't do interviews, nothing until like Yo MTV Raps came out many years ago. They just never had a voice other than the poeticness that they put on paper and put a beat on it, and we get to dance and stuff. But there's more to us. There's way more to our people, and I'm loving it. It's showing, and I'm loving it. And thank you. I'm glad to
Yes.
be here today. So I appreciate the time today too.
Oh
This was
yeah.
a
Oh
good
yeah.
convo.
And one thing I'll say in concluding this, I know that the direction of the porn talk is more based on the educational side of things and opinions. And I tell people many times it's not something that you're gonna be entertained. Most of the time, I'll try to put some humor to it. Sometimes, a little bit. But really, truly, we have to be serious here. I look at a lot of content overall, and I do create my own type of content that how I move is different from everybody else on content throughout podcasting, YouTube. Um, I deal with the subjects at hand, and then put it out as best as possible, and put my spin on it. And I tell people many times, there's certain things you're gonna like, and there's certain things you're gonna dislike. But like always, if you're here and you want more of the foolishness and the things, the ratchetness, um, I don't think I'm the best person for that, guys. Unfortunately, I could do it, but I just can't do it. It just takes so much energy to do all that and put out every day constantly. I like to look at more of the information and be a little bit more serious from time to time because the time on people on YouTube is very limited. I'm letting y'all know right now. When they make their change, the way they make their changes now, that you're gonna regret getting these type of information, guys. I'm telling you this personally.
Mhm.
Real talk. You get me? So I'll leave it there. Kai, if you can see the back room, I left a message. Um, for those and one thing, if y'all guys stayed during the whole of this stream, I want you to go back to the upload between Kwame and Hassan Campbell that I posted on Chaos Rain channel. I'll post that for y'all to watch. You might have to watch the whole 20 minutes of it. I was gonna split off the other part, but I think just watch it just to get a feel of the things I put in my reflection on the two. And trust me, you're gonna like the part with Mr. Campbell side of things. That's all I'm gonna give you. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna
Oh yeah.
give more.
I
I'm not
did
giving
one
more secret.
too, and it's the same amount of duration as yours. That's kind of interesting.
Oh,
Well,
was
their
it?
names is
Oh,
buzzing all over the YouTube street, so.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
I felt something too after meeting them, so it felt pretty good. And I have my own opinions on Hassan anyway, so we'll see how everything
Well,
play out.
I'm gonna let people contemplate and think about that. But like always, guys, thank y'all for listening. Catch y'all next porn talk. You see?